Hello everyone, back tuning into the 7th update for Christmas 2017. So we've done 6 updates so far. This is the 7th one. We're moving well into the updates now. Starting them on the 1st of November, of course. Most of the updates so far, the storyline is that most of the updates so far have been generally quite mild, wet and Atlantic driven. We did have a colder update for update 5, but other than that, generally most of the updates have been quite mild and quite unsettled. We'll see what the 7th update has to say in a moment. Just to say that the Christmas shop is open, so you've got a Christmas shop to do at Amazon between now and Christmas. All you have to do is click the green button, which is directly underneath this video. That says Gav's Christmas Shop. That takes you to our Christmas Shop page, and then from there the key to it all will be to go through the Amazon banners, and because you go from Gav's Webvids to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you are purchasing. So any Christmas Shop to do at Amazon, go from Gav's Webvids to Amazon, and you don't have to do anything different. It's just purely the fact that you've gone from our website to theirs. That means we get a revenue fee on the things that you're buying. A big thank you to everybody for doing that. So, just talking about the model, we are using the CFS 9-monthly forecast, again, from metroseal.fr. Find a link to Metroseal on the links page. Always try and use the same run, so we're using the midday run of the 9-monthly CFS V2 generated midday yesterday, 15th of November. Always a 24-hour delay on these charts coming through. And without further ado, let's get on with the update. We're beginning on the 12th of December when we find ourselves under a ridge of high pressure. As we run through to the 13th and on to the 14th, that ridge continues, so it's probably bringing a fair amount of dry and probably quite cold weather there through to the middle part of December. You would expect frost and fog to be coming through with that. Nothing overly wintry. We're not bringing down Arctic sourced air or Siberian sourced air, so there's nothing generating snow. It's just mostly dry, cold, probably with frost and fog as well. We get to the 15th and signs that the Atlantic is starting to move in. These areas of low pressure starting to push this ridge back into central and eastern parts of Europe. This takes us to the 15th of December then, and we move through to the 16th with an increasingly unsettled looking northern Atlantic starting to turn quite stormy to the north and west of us. When those purple colours get going, that's an indication that the jet stream is really ramping up. But this ridge, it's still hanging on here across the south. So by the 16th of December, we've probably got unsettled weather coming into Scotland, but for the rest of the country, it's probably mostly dry. Could still be fairly cold, but not as cold as it was before, I wouldn't have thought. Temperature's probably near normal, and maybe with anticyclonic gloom as well. Run further on towards Christmas, and no sign really that the high pressure is relenting up to around the 18th of December. It's still there, albeit now centred across the eastern part of Europe. For us out in the north and west, we're beginning to drag up this long, fetch southwesterly winds. That is starting to import very mild air up from the Azores by the 18th of December. Wet and very mild for Scotland, Northern Ireland. England and Wales still just about clinging on to this high pressure, so probably still mainly dry there, albeit turning milder even down in the south. We get through to the 20th of December and we begin to move the weather front in off the Atlantic. That's been cloud and outbreaks of rain, finally pushing away that area of high pressure. Now we're running towards Christmas, so up to the 22nd of December here, and the high pressure now is over into the northeast of Europe. Low pressure is deepening in the Atlantic, and we're bringing up these very mild southerly winds, and there's probably a weather front here as well, bringing quite a lot of heavy rain in from off the Atlantic. Certainly on the 22nd of December, no sign of anything wintry in terms of snow for this update. 23rd to Christmas Eve, so it's all looking rather mild and unsettled. There's probably another weather system here on Christmas Eve lurking out to our southwest with cloud and outbreaks of rain waiting in the wings there. Elsewhere, little bump of high pressure, so mainly dry, a little bit on the cooler side. But this is all very, very Atlantic driven, so this is what we get for Christmas Day. This is Christmas Day's chart from the 7th Christmas update, and we're dragging up this long fetch southwesterly wind again. So it's another very mild Christmas Day being signalled here. Probably a lot of cloud, and I would have thought outbreaks of rain in the west and the southwest. You could be seeing temperatures up to 12, 13, 14 degrees there with that long fetch southwesterly wind pumping up the air all the way from the Azores as high pressure is centred over France and Spain. Low pressure is out to the north, to the west too. So that was Christmas Day. This is Boxing Day, looking equally as mild. This is 7th update, really is an exceptionally mild Christmas. So again, the air is from the southwest. It's a long fetch southwesterly pumping the air up across the British Isles and Ireland. Again, I would have thought quite a lot of cloud with that. There's bound to be heavy rain, most likely to the west of high ground. Temperatures at least up to 10 degrees. If sun comes out, possibly up to 13 or 14 degrees there. Exceptionally mild Christmas Day and Boxing Day too. Beyond that, so we go to the 28th and on to the 29th, and we just keep pumping up this very, very mild, if not warm, southwesterly winds. So beyond Christmas, we have a bit of a post-Christmas heat wave, really, with temperatures again easily into double digits, maybe up into the mid-teens Celsius, and again, there will probably be quite a lot of heavy rain out to our west as well. If anybody thinks that the CFS is always going for cold on these Christmas updates, this really does tell you to think again, because this is an exceptionally mild, if not warm, Christmas and post-Christmas period that we are seeing for tonight's 7th Christmas update. We're moving towards New Year, and we're flattening off that ridge. So this is New Year's Eve, and finally we start bringing something slightly more sensible for temperatures. So we've lost that air from the Azores. The wind has turned to more of a westerly for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and probably turning quite unsettled as well. So there's heavy rain followed by showers coming in here, and the temperatures are dropping. The air's coming in from the northern part of the Atlantic now, returning then with the air back towards average. It means there could be some wintry showers over high ground in the north. After Christmas, what happens is that we set up this northerly flow. So it gets quite cold, actually, in the opening days of January. It becomes much more unsettled. There's a lot of heavy rain with these areas of low pressure that are coming through during the first week of January. And it's a lot cooler as well, because we've cut off that air from the Azores. The air is all from the northern Atlantic. So whilst it's not desperately cold, there's nothing Arctic going on here, it is somewhat cooler, and I think really we're setting up quite an unsettled stormy spell as we're running through the first couple of weeks of January. It does look very unsettled. There'll be a lot of heavy rain coming in, and the temperatures are a lot cooler as well. Back to average, as opposed to that exceptional warmth that we see there over the Christmas period during the final stages of December. There are indications there that the pattern that's setting up is similar to the kind of pattern we had during December 2015, which was an exceptionally warm, I say warm rather than mild, it was an exceptionally warm December. Kind of similar patterns, but of course that's just for the Christmas period, whereas what happened in 2015 is that the warmth was from beginning to end during that extraordinarily hot December of 2015. Anyway, off on a tangent with all that, let's come back to Christmas. So, we can definitely file the 7th Christmas update away as a very mild, if not warm, Christmas. Fairly dry as well, away from the west where we would have some heavy rain exposed to those long fetch southwesterly winds, but fairly dry, but exceptionally mild, if not warm, Christmas for the 7th update. We have got a trend with these updates at the moment, which is for mild conditions over Christmas. Whether that's mild and stormy or mild and dry, we've definitely got a trend this year. At the moment, the trend is for warm and mild temperatures over Christmas, with the cold updates very much in the minimum at this stage. We'll see what the 8th update has to say, which we'll do on Saturday evening, same time, same place. So come back for that then. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.